By the end of this video, you are going to believe that dodos are alive and well and living in Mauritius. Come join me on this adventure of discovery and proof. By the end of this, you will believe. But I'll make sure that I give you the hard evidence first. It all started with this picture. A simple picture I was about to delete off my laptop when I accidentally bumped the keypad and it zoomed in. I've never actually seen that happen before. I didn't even know that could happen. And what I was shocked to see was this dodo. I actually couldn't believe it when I first saw it. I thought, well, what's that? But if you zoom out, it completely disappears. If you zoom in, it completely disappears. But it just happened that to be on that exact point, there was the dodo, and that's where the adventure began. Mauritius is situated off the east coast of Africa. It's a relatively small island with a few islands around it. The one that's important to us is Coin de Mire, which is off the north of Mauritius. And it's important because this is where this photo was taken. Coin de Mire is off limits to people, which is why this would be the perfect place to find a living dodo. I had to go and have a look. This wasn't going to be an easy task. I mean, the word dead as a dodo actually exists. So dodos have been extinct for about 400 years. They were first discovered in the 1500s, and then by 1664, there were no more dodos. There are tons of sites where you can find out what killed the dodo, whether it was people or introduced species, or the fact that they were stupid or smart or flightless, or new information just in. The extinction of the dodo might actually have been caused by a Megadrought. Between 500 and 1,000 years ago, there was very little rain falling here, and it killed off a lot of animals, and the dodo might have been one of them. Hundreds of different reasons, you can go look those up. That's not what we're here for. We're here to try and find a living one. So our adventure actually begins on Coin de Mire. How do you get on an island that's covered in cliffs and is off limits to humans? Well, I guess the best thing to do is send up a drone. This valley would probably be our best bet for finding a dodo. I guess at this point you're probably wondering, what's a smart guy with a degree going after what can technically be a conspiracy theory based on a pretty bad photograph? That was when I heard about de-extinction, basically bringing extinct animals back to life. What you do is you take some of the genetic material, you mix it into a soup, take the oldest living relative of the animal and actually breed the animal back. I couldn't believe it. Someone was actually talking about bringing back extinct animals, and the dodo was on the list. Let's get the drone up, get the footage, get the proof that the dodo exists, and move on with this video. If only it was that simple. This is as good as it got, because this kept happening. It was a complete nightmare. It just never ended. No matter what happened, I just can't seem to get really good footage of Coin de Mire. Pretty much the Coin de Mire project was over. There was no way I could actually get footage from there. I couldn't actually search the place. And well, it just wasn't looking good for finding a dodo there. So I chatted to some people and they said, well, it's probably unlikely that the Mauritius government would be able to hide the fact that they had cloned a dodo and it was now living on Coin de Mire. I mean, yeah, that's pretty unlikely. But, you know, it's still possible. I still want to go to Coin de Mire. I still want to check it out. But maybe if I can get permission to do it, maybe the government can help me. Maybe one of those helicopter companies can fly us there. We can traipse around, get permission, and see what happens. But at the moment, that's off limits. So I discovered something else, some footage. And it was footage taken in Mauritius, near Black River, in the forests there. And it suggested that maybe, just maybe, the dodo never actually went extinct and that it's still here in the forest. I had to go and have a look. Another little sneak peek. I have been showing quite a few along the way, but it's time to actually look at the other evidence we have. So I've got a couple of these videos and a couple of still photographs. Let's start with a still photograph and see what it's all about. When I first saw this photo, I was convinced it was real. This was actual proof of a dodo. Then I started looking a little bit closer. Something hinky around the legs, and the eyes just don't seem right. Ultimately, its biggest problem, it's a photograph. We need video evidence. Seems like this project has hit another roadblock. Not only can't we get drone footage, but now my laptop keeps crashing. I've lost a couple of videos that I can't seem to find. They're just into thin air. The blue screen of death keeps pitching up. It's becoming a little bit of a nightmare. I'm spending time editing stuff only to find out that it didn't save, even though I pressed the save button. I don't want to say it out loud, but maybe this is the Dodo curse. Maybe this is why no one has ever actually brought real evidence to bear that the dodo didn't go extinct or is still alive. The ghosts of all the dead dodos must be haunting me. Okay, back to the video. This one was actually shot in the Caribbean, or they claimed it was shot in the Caribbean. There's an iguana in it. The iguana is nice and clear. The dodo is a little bit blurry. I've always loved this one. It's one of my favorite go-to, that when I'm feeling a little bit down, I go and have a look at it and think, these guys did it so well. But then a French company, a French television company, produced one to say, it was found in Reunion. So I think maybe the back and forth on this story is what's destroyed it, rather than the fact that it's bad footage, because I still think it is quite good footage. So this is also one of my favorite picks for a dodo video. This is some drone footage. It was taken in 2015. It was filmed flying over a swampy area in the Black River Gorge. It shows what appeared to be 3 dodos running. Let's pause it and have a look. Let's zoom in a little bit. It looks like they've got shadows and reflections, which is quite cool. They sort of dodo shaped. I just have a problem when they run, they're not displacing water. But it could be a very high drone. It's very hard to tell. Our quality is not that great. Here we are at the moment of truth. I've been giving you sneak peeks the entire video, but here it is. First time ever on TV, YouTube, whatever. We're about to play it. Roll the cameras. The latest dodo video. Wow, actual footage of a dodo walking through the forest in Mauritius. Unbelievable. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is show you the full video right from where the camera turned on to, well, you'll see. Ultimately, I'm not going to look too closely at this video. There is no providence in it, but I want to believe, and I hope some of you out there want to believe as well. I just want to thank everyone for watching. It's been a great adventure. Some ups, a lot of downs, but the final up is what made it all worthwhile. I'm glad you could come along for the journey. I do have a couple more great projects in the works, but for now, we're going to check out some foods. Let's go eat.